Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Off the Ropes.
I'm Paul, and I know wrestling.
I'm Audri, and I don't.
And today we're doing WWE Monday Night Raw for February 22nd, or 28th, sorry. 2022.
2022.
And it's our first time doing Raw. I was looking forward to it because it's a longer show. We had a lot to sink our teeth into, so we probably shouldn't mess around too much.
Nope. And I was looking forward to it because Seth freaking Rollins.
So we started right out with Kevin Owens. He come out with the cowboy hat sideways, and then he's introducing Seth because it's the KO show.
KO show.
So Raw starts with the KO show, and this segment lasted probably a good, I think, 12 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was a long segment.
But it was fun.
It
was really fun. Yeah. The chemistry between KO and Seth is great.
It's perfect.
And I think WWE noticed it, which is really cool. That's what happened with RK Bro.
Yeah.
And someone had mentioned a few episodes ago that they called themselves SRKO. I can't remember which one of them said that, but I thought that was pretty funny.
That was funny.
So I'm thinking for this cowboy thing, KO's the cat's messing with us again. KO's doubling down on how much he hates Texas, and how him and Seth are going to win the belts so they can go to WrestleMania. That's what this whole angle is about, because otherwise they can't possibly find a way to WrestleMania,
Right.
being, you know, two of the biggest mid to upper card guys. And I think it's probably building to Stone Cold.
You think so?
I think so. Stone Cold Steve Austin, I think he will manifest at some point.
You think that has something to do with
how much he's saying he hates
SRKO?
Texas? Yes, I do.
Okay.
I think that the cowboy stuff and Kevin Owens doubling down is going to lead to Stone Cold and a match at WrestleMania.
Okay.
Or something with Stone Cold. It's going to be kind of disappointing if it isn't at this point, because he's been going so hard in on Texas. They were in Ohio, and he's still going in on Texas. But then he did tell Columbus, Ohio, he's like, "Don't cheer. You're not much better," which was funny.
Yeah, that was funny.
And then Alpha Academy comes out, and it's going to be SRKO. We're calling them that versus Alpha Academy.
What did you think about Alpha Academy?
Freaking
Swoosh!
Thank you. I freaking love Alpha Academy. Don't tell me to shoosh.
Shoosh.
He said that Chad Gable has just been so funny through this whole Alpha Academy thing. He said that Otis was 335 pounds of necklace dominance. That made me laugh. He's like raised his game. He's another level.
He's great.
Some people knew that Chad Gable could do this because he got stuck with this crappy gimmick before you started watching called Shorty G, where they were talking about how short he was. He's not really even that short, so it was stupid. I'm glad they moved on from that. But the actual match was really good, of course.
That was a good match.
It wasn't going to be bad. With these four, it wasn't going to be bad. What'd you think?
I said, Stunner, I hardly know her.
Okay, fair enough.
Um,
Go ahead.
No, you can go first.
Oh, well, I love he did like a little cannonball suicide dive. That was crazy
that was
looking.
really cool.
Chad Gable did that. And then we got the thing where they exchanged finishers, like off the top rope finishers. And when this always cracks me up because Corey's always like, when they tag in, Corey's always like, I don't know if he knows. It happens at least once every Raw. Corey Graves says, I don't know if he knows the tag is in. So I thought that'd be fun to note here. And then Gable's suplexes.
Yeah.
Man, he was putting them on KO. Those were pretty impressive. And then we got the stunner and the stomp.
The Stunner Stomp.
On Gable. 1, 2, 3. SRKO wins. So yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Did you have anything to add to the match? Just shush.
I wrote shoosh, shush dad. Stunner, I hardly know her. Stunner Stomp.
Okay, yeah, that about sums it up. What'd you give it?
I gave that a 10.
I think you're probably right. I gave it a 9 because the buildup was so much.
I liked the build-up.
It was good.
It was entertaining to me.
And then on the next Raw...
I may be biased, but...
On the next Raw, they tell us at this point that we're getting the triple threat match with RK Bro,
SRKO,
and Alpha Academy. But let's keep that in mind for now, because there's more to come. Next up, we had Omos. Kevin Patrick was doing the interviewing, if you want to call it that. It was just a little harmless promo. Then Omos comes out against TBar, who, as Dominic Dijakovic, used to just be so amazing and beautiful. And he was so wonderful on NXT. His matches against Keith Lee were like matches of the year. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden
That's the stuff that made me start watching wrestling.
I know it.
For real.
The first match you ever watched really was TBar. Dominic Dijakovic against Keith Lee.
That was my first match I ever watched. WWE, look me in the eyes. Stop wasting TBar.
I mean, Dominic Dijakovic.
AEW, look at me. Sign TBar.
For real though. Go to Impact. You'd be a big fish at Impact. Dominic Dijakovic is literally one of the best wrestlers in the world. Mm-hmm. And this is getting so...
It's frustrating.
So he's jobbing out to Omos, really.
Yeah.
The only offense he had was moving out of the way, and Omos hits the... Mm-hmm. And I mean, TBar is not a small guy. I hate even calling him that, but...
He's not.
Let Omos take some bumps.
Right.
I get that you're building him up to be a monster. I'm all for that.
But it's annoying. And I wrote that. Annoying with an exclamation point.
She did. And, I gave it a 3. It's the lowest score.
I gave it a 2, but I had more to say.
Okay, have at it.
I don't know what the big deal is. I could easily be Omos. The ref looked so cute. She had a little ponytail in. She was killing it.
Was it Jessica?
No.
Okay. Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We need to find out her name.
I don't know her name, but I will find it out. And then I said, stop wasting TBar. This is annoying.
It really is.
And I gave it a 2.
And that was the lowest score that either of us have given so far on this show.
Yeah. Well, actually, I have a lower one later on.
Okay. So far.
Next up, we had something a lot cooler.
Way cooler.
Triple tag team match between Rhea, Liv, and Bianca, which is that's a hell of a team right off the bat, especially with how improved Liv has gotten.
Yeah.
Versus Nikki, almost superhero, Doudrop, and Becky. And you know, this is sort of like the first match. This was gonna be good.
Yeah.
You knew it as soon as they announced it. You were like, "Oh, this is gonna be good."
At the very least, it's gonna be entertaining.
Yeah, and it was very entertaining.
Very fun to watch.
Did you have any thoughts on the match?
I did. I said, Liv and Rhea look so cute because their outfits were matching.
They were.
I love that. Both of their makeup slayed. Bianca also looked cute, but like she always does. You know?
Right.
And I did have to write down, I don't like the stuff with Bianca's hair. I never like it. I don't like when they pull on it. And then I don't like when she whips people with it.
Right. So Becky was basically poking the bear, pulling on Bianca's hair this whole match. And I'm like, usually when that happens, Bianca uses her hair. She doesn't use it unless people mess with it.
Right.
Usually. But that first laceration, because she whipped Becky with the hair.
There was welts on her stomach.
That was not good.
Bianca's hair is there to look cute. She walks out. She spins it around. That's all we need.
Yeah.
You know?
As far as the match itself goes, the Rhea and Bianca double suplex on Doudrop.
That was so awesome.
That was sweet.
That was so awesome.
And then Rhea and Liv did this really cool rope dive where she walked up the rope. And Rhea sort of held her.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It wasn't quite right, but it was
a cool move.
Pretty cool, yeah. Cool. Great idea.
Yeah.
And they're all just hitting big moves the whole match.
It was a good match.
Yeah, it was. And I liked Becky kind of did like a little Hogan leg drop.
Yeah.
Oh, that was pretty fun and cool.
That was a fun match. I liked it.
But here's another thing about it. Well, first off, what'd you give it?
I gave it an 8.5. It would have been a 9 or higher if not for the hair thing. I just don't like that. I never like it.
Yeah, I gave it a 9, but I agree with you on that. That's just, man, that's almost worse than the dang sticks. I don't like that either. And another thing is,
we need more women's tag teams.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about this.
For the love of God. Seriously, there's like 2.
There's 2. I rack my brain. If you don't count these as tag teams, which they're not
They're
really.
not.
There's 2.
There's 2. Literally 2.
So, yeah.
During Women's History Month.
Oh, yeah.
Which I guess that wasn't technically, but
if it was.
we are filming this the first day of March, so.
Yeah, and you got people like Ember Moon out there.
Yeah. And Tamina, more on that later.
Yeah, we'll get to it. Next up, I like this. This was Robert Roode versus Tommaso Ciampa from NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Dolph Ziggler, which is Robert Roode's partner, has been having a little feud with Tommaso Ciampa and Braun Breaker over on NXT, and it spilled into Raw. I thought it was pretty fun. I love Tommaso.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a secret. I've been loving him for a long time on NXT.
Great.
He's great.
I loved him too.
And I really like Robert Roode. I don't know how you feel about Robert Roode. I think he's really solid. He always gets the job done. He does what he has to do.
I suppose I don't mind him.
But you want to talk more about the guy that you do mind.
I do mind. And I wrote down a lot.
All right, let's hear it.
Dolph Ziggler, I have a bone to pick with you. What is that outfit? I had to smack that hat off your head. You look stupid. Seriously, who styled Dolph Ziggler? Those shoes, what the heck? Ciampa slayed. The inside of his blazer is red, and he was wearing it with a blue shirt.
I feel like you going in a little harder because it's Dolph.
No, the outfit was terrible.
It was bad, but do you think that, no? What if The Rock was wearing it? Okay. But let the record show that she does not care for Dolph pretty much every week, so.
He was wearing an American flag belt buckle, so then you think, okay, maybe that's why the red blazer with the blue shirt. But no, because the blue didn't match the belt buckle.
I tend to like Dolph. I think he's a great troll. He's always solid. The Ciampa won, as he should. And I think they're going to double down on Braun Breaker. I have a prediction, and it's not like a big hot take in the wrestling world, but I think Braun Breaker is the next guy.
Okay.
When he comes over from NXT eventually, if they don't pull a Dominic Dijakovic on him, which I don't think they will, because they've been building him pretty good on NXT, I think he's the next guy. Okay. The next kind of Drew, you know, that height, you know, that size of a star. Yeah. The crowd was booing Rude, which was funny. But yeah, I thought Braun was going to maybe come out and break up the little fight because Dolph and Rude were ganging up on Ciampa. But yeah, it was a good time limit, I thought, for the match. It was nothing super special, just solid. I gave it an 8. You gave it a 7 or something because of Dolph.
I gave it a 0.
Shut up.
But I actually gave it a 7.
Okay.
See, I wrote it down.
0, but a 7.
0, 7 in parentheses. It actually was probably more like an 8, but
yeah, it was
you know,
pretty solid.
I got to dock a point for Dolph Ziggler on screen.
Fair enough. See, you admitted it that time. Next up, we had the 24/7 stuff. A mixed tag team, the champ Dana Brooke and Reggie, against Tamina Snuka and Akira Tozawa. And yeah, the best thing about this is Reggie leaping in the ring.
Yeah.
At the beginning. I don't know, it's kind of fun. What'd you think?
I wrote loud sigh. Bring Tamina back to the women's league. Reggie slays. I think I wrote that down after he did the jump. And then I said too much kissing, and that's coming from me.
Yeah, because usually you're like, oh my god, are they gonna kiss? Yeah.
But not like that. Come on, this is the kids show.
Tamina pick up Akira and they look at each other, and she plants a kiss on him, and Tozawa just had the look on his face. Like,
but before that
made me laugh.
Reggie and
Dana
also kissed. That's how she pinned him.
Yeah, that was weird.
Weird. Come on.
Dana and Reggie win that one. We'll see where it goes. I was entertained, so I gave it a 6.5.
I gave it a 6.
It's dumb.
It's silly.
But it's what it is.
Stop wasting your women.
It's, you know, part of the sports entertainment, but stop wasting the women. I totally agree with that. Why don't you put Tamina and Shayna together, or find something?
Right.
Yeah.
No, instead she's running around backstage.
Yeah.
Like
kissing Tozawa.
Kissing Tozawa.
Next up was a little Street Profits promo. They're always great. That was fun. I didn't rank it or anything.
I didn't either.
It wasn't really long, but I love when those two are on screen. And then we got Ray and Dominic Mysterio versus the Hurt Business. And before we get into this, because I know you have something to say about this as well when we go through it. I have a little rant about the Hurt Business.
Okay.
WWE, you ruined what was potentially one of the best factions you've had since NWO or something like that, because the Hurt Business was so cool and they were just starting to get over in that cool gray area way, but I don't think Vince really cares for anti-heroes. You ruined it though. Man, the Hurt Business was cool and I still cheer for them because I love them, but it's rough to see.
Yeah.
When they separate from Lashley, all of a sudden Cedric and Sheldon are just nobody.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was my little rant about the Hurt Business. It's a bummer.
I have a rant.
So, shall we say what the rant is?
Yeah.
Because Miz interrupted.
Awesome. Shut up.
And Miz introduced Logan Paul. And take it away, Audrey.
Why? Nobody likes him. Not even in oh, I don't like Dolph Ziggler way.
Can we give a little background on Logan?
Okay, yeah. If you don't know who Logan Paul is.
Right.
First of all, welcome to the internet. Second of all.
Welcome to the internet, mama.
Sorry, Grams. He sucks. He was like a YouTuber, like for kids. Like his audience was completely kids. His content, not for kids. He filmed a in a forest that somebody had taken their own life and posted that on YouTube for his child audience to see. If that's not bad enough, he also just like sucks in general. He makes NFTs, he sells crypto, like all the scammy stuff.
He's just all around not a very likable guy.
He just sucks.
And WWE tried to introduce him earlier as a babyface. And the WWE Universe was not having that. They booed him so hard.
The stage
Even Miz couldn't save him with his golden microphone. So to their credit, at least they know now, okay, we have to bring him in as a bad guy. But here's the thing. It's not fun wrestling heat. It's legit dislike. Yeah. People don't want to see him.
When they like bring him up, like it just makes me go,
yeah.
He's the type of person that needs to be deplatformed, not put on a bigger platform.
Right.
That's my opinion on the matter.
And here's another thing. Can we start this where we say one good thing about people we don't like? Because I do have one good thing to say about him.
About Logan Paul?
Yes.
Okay.
His last name is Paul.
I have one thing about him. He looks like he would try to take over the tri-state area.
So, Doofenshmirtz.
Okay, but he doesn't look like Doofenshmirtz. He looks like he would be a supervillain, like, in a cartoon.
That was a good thing about him. I like that. Okay, so, I did like, one of the Mysterios called, I think it was Dominic. Yeah, it was Dominic. He called Miz a Hollywood mega dumbass and his fanboy.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
That was funny.
Yeah, and then when the match got started, so I did give that segment a 7. Because I thought Miz worked really hard.
I forgot to rate it.
It's okay. I thought Miz worked really hard for the promo, and Dominic and Ray, you know, Ray stumbled a little, but it was cool. Yeah. It was good.
Yeah.
It's always good to see them.
I think I would agree with 7, though.
Yeah. And then the match itself, I'm not going to try to be like you, but this time it actually I noted this. The color coordinates of the tag teams. They were so cool looking because they were green and yellow and black, and they all looked cool together.
They looked cool.
Mysterios and Hurt Business.
Yeah, they did look cool. I definitely agree.
Did you have anything to say about the match itself?
I didn't, because I was really focused on writing down that diss on Logan Paul.
Fair enough.
I also said he looks like the wizard from Barbie Swan Lake, but that's more of a niche reference. So.
Oh man, can you put up a?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So, yeah, Dominic's getting better, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I like Dominic.
Cedric had to jump over the ref to break up a pin. That was pretty crazy.
That was great. That was fantastic. Yes.
And surprise roll-up, Sheldon wins. The Hurt Business didn't job.
Wow.
So, there you go. There was shenanigans because of The Miz. I would have given it a little bit higher just because the Hurt Business won, and I like to let them see them getting wins, but I gave it a 7.5 because of the shenanigans.
Okay. 7.5 I can agree with. I just forgot to rate that part.
Okay.
So.
Then we got Riddle and Randy backstage. They're gold. And we found out that we're going to get RK Bro versus the Street Profits. In between that, we had this little weird, gross Raw promo
weird.
with Carmella and Zelina.
So weird.
And there's no other tag teams. Let's just double down on that. I can't think of another tag team.
That is one of their only... That is 50% of their tag teams, their women tag teams, is Carmella and Zelina.
But ain't that only... It's 100% on Raw, right? Is there anyone else? Because SmackDown now has Naomi and Sasha. So they're going for the belt. Because there's no one else. If there's anybody else, drop it in the comments. Because I don't think there is.
Wow. If there are, they're not using them. So again, I say stop wasting your women.
Right. So the match itself.
Wait, I
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Carmella, let me do your makeup, please. Throw that lipstick in the garbage. Love you. I love you. Please.
That it?
That was it.
All right. Carmella, lipstick. So when I see RK Bro versus the Street Profits, all I really care about is I want to see an RKO and I want to see a frog splash.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're building towards. There's a lot of big moves in this one. They could stand to build more tag teams like these too, because they feel like legit.
Fantastic, yeah.
They have good
You
chemistry.
almost don't know who to root for when you're watching them.
Right. I was cool with whoever, honestly.
But I always root for Randy because I love him.
Yeah, I love Randy too, and more on that in a minute. The Street Profits did this cool move. They pulled Riddle into like a triangle submission.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was neat.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Randy's trying to hit the RKO. Doesn't get it. Gets the big moves put on him, and our guy Montez goes up for the frog splash. It looked
hand
bad.
was in a weird spot.
It looked bad.
He screamed the F word.
He didn't kick out in time.
No,
I don't know what
his foot was supposed to reach the rope.
It looked
he
like
was
it.
too caught off guard.
It looked like Dawkins was either trying
to grab his foot to bring it to the rope or pull
it out or something.
Yeah.
So
hopefully
I think
he is okay.
Yeah. I hope Randy's okay. You can see at the very end they're all gathered around kind of talking to him, which is okay.
Riddle pushed the ref away from him.
Yeah.
To get to him.
Yeah,
so.
which they're in kayfabe, they're all baby faces, so they didn't really break kayfabe to show concern for Randy Orton, but we just hope he's okay.
Hope he's good. He's
one of our favorites. Even if he wasn't, we would hope he's okay.
Right.
Even if it was Dolph Ziggler, we would hope he was okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in kayfabe. Don't be mad. I'm in kayfabe.
So even with the ending like that, I still gave it a 9 because, my God.
I also gave it a 9 because it was a good match.
It was so entertaining.
The ending just it just caught us off guard a little, you know.
And it was sad. It left me feeling like...
I almost cried. It just made me upset, you know.
The whole house, the wind got sucked out of him.
Hope he's all good. Or, heals quickly.
Yeah. And there's no troll like Randy Orton.
So true.
Even as a babyface, he's still trolling. And if my wife likes him, he's a great troll. Yeah. So there you go.
That's true.
Then we got the SRKO promo, and that one was hilarious. They were talking to Kevin Patrick.
Yeah. Okay.
And they were just yelling and whooping and making each other laugh. Yeah. Seth Rollins and Kevin.
They're so great together.
And then Kevin says, here's a preview of me leaving Dallas, and he just walked off. I gave that a 10 because it was so funny.
I didn't, but I agree.
It was very funny.
Didn't write it down.
So. Speaking of trolls, the next segment is Veer coming to Raw. Veer, buddy.
Where are you?
Where you at?
Hey, Veer.
At least the last couple, they've let him talk, and it feels like he's sort of inching his way closer to Raw.
Hey, Veer, learn how to run.
So for those who don't know, they've been showing the same promo of Veer. Well, they changed it up a little, but they've been saying Veer's coming to Raw for months now, and it's clearly just a troll at this point. To the point where he finally shows up. Maybe it's WrestleMania or something, or the week before Raw, and he shows up. He's gonna get a huge pop.
Yeah.
The crowd is gonna go crazy when this guy actually walks out.
Yeah.
I hope. Because he deserves it at this point.
Right.
Jeez.
Come on.
Come on.
I love him already.
Throw him a bone.
I have to.
Okay, next we had the little segment with Vince McMahon,
Mm-hmm.
the chairman, and Austin.
I think you skipped one thing.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, they had this little segment where they showed Instagram pictures.
Oh, yeah.
I gave that a 10.
Nice. Because of Austin Theory and Umberto?
Yeah.
Well, that segues into this because it was Vince and Austin, and they were talking about Pat McAfee is going to do a sit-down interview with Vince, and Austin Theory was volunteering to basically be his bodyguard.
Right.
In case, what if Pat tries to jump you, which made me laugh.
Yeah, that was funny.
So Vince and Pat Thursday, it was whatever. It was quick and fast. I was hovering around the 7, but I gave it a 7.5 because I could hear Vince this week. I had to turn the TV up super loud. He was actually coming through pretty well. Did you have anything for that?
I didn't.
Okay.
But I did like it. I would probably...
Yeah, it was
I would
fun.
say 8.
Yeah.
But I'll take 7.5.
It was fine. It was fast.
Yeah.
Got the job done.
I like Austin Theory, so...
Yeah, and this was basically the last match of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Damien Priest versus Finn Balor for the U.S. Championship. I thought right off the bat, this had a pay-per-view atmosphere to it.
Yeah,
like this
I
felt
agree.
like
It felt big.
Yeah, like they should have. I was surprised they did it on Raw.
Yeah.
And those two were going at it. They were flying all over the place.
Yeah.
Just they were laying it in. I thought it was really good.
It was a great match.
There was a problem. A lot of the middle of the match was a very long commercial.
Yeah.
Which I know they have to break for commercials, but it seemed like it was a lot of the match.
It was like they were trying to fit the rest of the commercial in
Yeah.
before the very last part.
Yeah.
Which is fine that they have to do that, but during that match, you know,
Yeah.
you could have put that instead of Reggie.
The thing with Reggie? Yeah, but really, honestly. But then you would have less women on the show, so.
Right, but
Yeah.
that's not how I want to see the women.
Yeah, that's true. Also here, when Raw was on Sci-Fi for the couple weeks where they had the Winter Olympics thing, Raw was going picture in picture on a lot of this stuff. And it was really fascinating because you actually got to see what was happening when they do that breakaway. Oh, can he take control? We'll see when we come back. Then you actually got to see what was happening. And they stopped doing it when they left Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
I really appreciated that on Sci-Fi. The crowd was really hyped. And Finn hit the coup de grace finisher, which I know you're not a big fan of. I don't love it either.
It's scary.
I feel like it was banned at one point. I could be wrong on that. Again, drop it in the
again.
comments if you know.
Ban it again for me.
But we have a new champ, and it's Finn Balor, new United States champ.
Finn Balor? I hardly know her.
And then at the very end of this, Damien does a heel turn. I liked it. Because,
I liked it too.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what he can do.
Yeah.
Because Damien's had this gimmick where he's going crazy when he gets mad. He can't hold his anger in. So I'm interested to see.
A little more fitting for heel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Damien. He's been great.
I like him too.
Yeah.
I think he's cool. He looks cool.
He does look cool.
And
You made a good point about his voice.
Yeah, he's got a really cool voice. Go into voice acting.
It's strong and
Yeah.
and
He's like, I'm Damien Priest and I'm gonna kick your butt.
sounded just like that. It's strong and he's on point.
Yeah.
And then we got to the very last segment of Raw. You think you know me? Edge. Here's the thing about Edge. Since he came back, for those who don't know, he was gone for like 9 years. Since he came back, he's getting consistently as big of a pop as anyone. Anyone. I don't care who you saying. When You Think You Know Me hits and his music hits, he comes out. That's a big a pop as anyone
Literally.
in either company. So I just thought that was noteworthy. And Edge is on this thing where he's like, well, I need somebody to fight at WrestleMania. Who can I make live forever? who's gonna be the next star fighting Edge at WrestleMania, and who comes out but
AJ Styles.
And we love AJ Styles.
My poor boy, go backstage.
So Edge and AJ had a nice little promo. They're cutting it back and forth on each other. It was still sort of semi-friendly. Mm-hmm. And Edge is kind of like, yeah, we've both wanted this match for a long time. Just say yes. And AJ's like, all right, yes, let's do it. And Edge, for some reason, didn't take kindly to something.
You missed a part.
Yeah.
He said something. I don't know wrestling history very much. You're gonna have to help me out here. He said, I don't want you to be a tag team.
Oh, yeah, with Omos.
He might have said the B word, I don't remember.
Yes, he basically said he wasn't going to be a tag team B word with Omos. He wanted the Rumble. He wanted the Bulldog.
The Bulldog.
The Bulldog,
and then
AJ.
He tried to shake AJ's hand, and AJ didn't shake then. And that's when he was like...
Edge just went crazy and beat the crap out of him. Then he went and got the chairs, and he gave our boy a concerto. Two of them.
Two concertos.
Well, sort of concertos. He laid his head on the chair, bam, with the other chair. Twice. And as we went out, Edge is sort of looking back with a little bit of regret, and then he's like, whatever.
It almost looked like he was like fighting himself.
Yeah.
Because he pulls out the chair, and he's like, no. And then he does it.
Yeah.
And then he pulls out the chair again, and he's like, no, I can't do it. And then he does it again. I would also like to mention... I've been thinking this for a long time. Edge is just a fantastic actor.
He is so good.
You can see it in his eyes. Like, he moves you, He's just so good.
He is. He's really good.
Mm-hmm.
His mic work is really, really real.
It's real. Everything he does is real.
It feels like it has intention.
Raw. No pun intended.
It feels like it has intention whenever he says stuff. So, yeah, we get the Edge heel turn right after the Priest heel turn. Which is kind of weird. I don't know if I've ever seen a show where they had two back-to-back heel turns like that. From two big guys. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm wondering, because he said that line about who wants to come out and live forever. And Cody Rhodes had posted something on Twitter about living forever. I don't know if that has anything to do with each other. Just throwing it out there. Cody was in AEW. Now he's apparently not. He might show up against Edge at WrestleMania if AJ's too injured. That's a theory I have, but we'll find out.
That's a good theory.
Find out on next Raw. And I gave that whole segment a 9.
I gave it a 10 because I love Edge.
Yeah, that's fair. It was really good. I mean, I can't dispute it. It was really good. Yeah, I would put it with one of the better promos of this year so far.
Yeah.
But not up there with MJF.
Right.
The other day, or Roman's little rant on SmackDown. Oh my God. But yeah, that was Raw. 3 hours of Raw, which is why this video's a little longer.
Sorry. Thanks for sticking through, though, if you're still watching.
Yeah.
We appreciate that support, and we love you.
And we'll see you for Dynamite.